The number one question people have asked me on social media this week is whether or not this is the competition pack or not. No, it isn't, but it is a special edition. Our spotlight today is on this 2018 BMW M2 Black Shadow Edition, and I'll forgive you if you don't know what that is. Only 50 have been made here for Canada, 700 worldwide. But is it just a $4,000 cash grab from BMW to get a little bit more out of you, or is there some real value to it? We're going to be taking this on the road, talking about how it performs and why some think that this really is the true BMW driver's car. And I'm doing things a little differently here with the BMW M2 because this is a very different car. It is one of the smallest cars that we've featured here on Test Drive so far. So there isn't really a lot for me to talk about on the exterior or interior, especially if you've already researched this car before. You really don't need to know anything more about it. Now, there are a few things to note about this specific car. First of all, BMW's added the LED adaptive headlights onto it. So at night they will turn as your wheels turn to help illuminate a little bit more down the road that you're turning, so that they do provide a little bit better visibility at night. Aside from that, the only other major change to this vehicle from the regular M2 is that Black Shadow Edition. As mentioned, only 50 sold here in Canada, 700 in the world. Is that $3,900 package worth it though? That's something for you to decide. Will it be worth more to somebody 5-10 years down the road because, ooh, it's the Black Shadow Edition? I don't know. I'm going to say no. Personally, I don't think it really matters. If you're going to be spending an extra $4 grand on an option on this car, go with the M Performance exhaust over this. I think that that's a much better use of your money than buying the Black Shadow, but it is interesting to drive it, and it certainly looks good in this color. It only comes in this black, so you do have to spend the $850 to get the black metallic paint for it. Should be included in the package considering you cannot order it any other way, but whatever. While you're at it, you also get the carbon fiber mirror caps. It's a nice addition. You also have the black high gloss kidney grills up front, the black high gloss side vents, 19-inch style 763M black alloys. You can't get those in black unless you get this package. You also have the carbon fiber rear diffuser and black chrome tailpipes. That's about it. So just really cosmetic changes to this vehicle. Again, is it worth it? I don't know. It's up to you to decide. There's nothing else on this vehicle that tells you it's the Black Shadow Edition. There isn't a badge somewhere. There isn't a plate on the inside here to say that. It really is based on the VIN. So that exclusivity is a little different, I'd say, than something like maybe an Alpina, which really does have a badge on it to tell you that it's something different. So is it really that exclusive if you don't have something to denote it? I don't know. I mean, it's up to you. Aside from that, though, you can get a couple other packages with this. There is no sunroof on here. I don't know if that's really a deal killer for most people. You can add it as an option. And then the $750 smartphone connectivity package, you can add that too. So if you want to have Apple CarPlay and be able to wirelessly stream it to your device, that's something that you can add too. Not on this car, not that it matters, because this car really is about the performance. Who cares about the rest of it? That's one of the things that I've talked about with people this week. You know, this isn't an overly luxurious car. There's no doubt about it. I mean, it's pretty Spartan on the inside here, especially by BMW standards. There isn't anything that's overly luxurious. Plastic dashboard. It's got stitching in it at least. It looks like it's real, but it is plastic. You've got this carbon fiber trim along the dash and center here and around the door handles. So it's a little different than what you might be used to. It looks nice. It has a good texture to it, but everything else really is plastic. And you've got the Alcantara in the door cards here, leather seats, and that's about it. So it's not going to be a blow your socks off luxury kind of car, but that's not what this vehicle is about. No siree. You are paying $75,000 for this car for one thing and one thing alone. Especially when you get the M double clutch transmission here, which I know people are going to get butthurt about, but guess what? I love driving it. And, ooh, it sounds great. Oh, just that expression from people when they see this car, when they hear this car. Oh man, it is worth every single penny of that 74 grand. Holy crap, what a car. That's what you buy this for. You don't buy it for all the technology. You don't buy it for the leather. You buy it for blistering performance. And I have to say, this is one of the most enjoyable cars we've driven this year. And I know I say that every single time we do a new performance car on this show, but there's something about a BMW M car that just gets your mojo going. Hello, officers. Hello. The thing is, though, they can't pull me over because I'm doing 40. The speed limit here is 50. So they're going to stand there and they know that there's nothing they can do. But this car can get you into so much trouble because it is so fast. It is so light. It is so nimble on the road. It really is just a completely different experience. And if you aren't used to a BMW M car and you want that raw power, maybe you do like the classics more than you like the new stuff, this is the one to get. I mean, you've got so much technology going now in the M3, M4, so in the M5 with an all-wheel drive system. You know, it's more technology than it is a driver's car, and that's why this is such a spectacular vehicle on the road, because it really does feel more connected to the drive. And yes, get the 6-speed transmission if you want it, but I like the M double clutch transmission here because I'm a lazy. I'll admit it. I am much happier letting the car do the work for me, but I do drive this vehicle exclusively in manual mode. And yes, if I put the clutch in and I shift it myself, I'm gonna feel more connected to the road. Well, guess what? Hashtag kill the manuals, because this is what it's all about. I love this transmission. I am so glad that BMW put this on this press car instead of the manual. 2 reasons. Number 1, I'm happier driving it this way. And number 2, the other journalists would absolutely destroy this car if it had the manual transmission on it. So it is good for me because I get to have more fun with it, and it's good for whoever buys it next because it's not going to be completely destroyed. But it's really hard to express how exciting this car really is on the road because you really do need to drive it. It's one thing for me to sit here and tell you all about it and show you it, you know, because we're on regular roads here. I can't go into performance mode, and especially with those cops around that corner. I wasn't expecting them to be there, and I know they weren't expecting me to be there either, but like, it's just so good. Oh, you just have to shift it, and you can do little shifts too. You don't have to slam the gears in at all. This car sounds so good. Ooh, especially when you downshift. I just love it. But if you just drive it properly, not just to the wall, but if you drive it really nice, it drives really nice. But then if you do a big launch, it does that too. You kind of get your cake and eat it too with a car like this. So if we do a rolling start from 20, oh my God, man, it picks up instantly. That's one of the reasons why I like the double clutch, because it shifts instantly. Like I'm telling you, it's an instant shift here. It's not like a manual. I don't care how fast you are. I don't care if you're the Stig. It's still not going to shift as fast as that. You can do this little tiny one. I'm just going to shift it. Ooh, a little tiny shift. It's so much fun. I love this car. If you don't get that already from watching this video, if you don't understand how excited I am to drive this car, I'm hoping that this kind of helps. I'm hoping you get the point of it here, because it just is so good. Listen, if you shift it right before the red line, it's got this like blip to it. Just sounds so good. But it goes in a corner as good as it does in a straight line, and that's what I like about this, because it is so small, it is so light, and it does have the performance when you need it. When you take it into a corner, oh man, it really feels like it is handling on rails. Whoa, look at that. Holy man. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. It helps having Michelin Pilot Super Sports on here. But my God, man, putting it into, I don't even put it into Sport Plus mode because I don't want to die. I know that if I put it into Sport Plus and it's turned off the traction control, even though I'm on dry roads here, I'm not going to do it because I don't need to make that phone call to BMW. Oh, but just listen to it. Just listen to it sit here at idle. We'll do it from a dig. So we are at 0. I'm sure there's a launch control. I don't know how to do it. I'm not going to waste my time. Oh, man. 100. That's all it took. This car will do 0 to 100 in 4.1 seconds, especially with that dual clutch transmission. Oh. Ooh, man, it just sounds great. I love it. I hope you do too. The BMW M2 really is the perfect car for somebody like me. I'm more drawn to BMW's heritage, and the M2 feels more like the E46 M3, especially with that dual clutch transmission. Overall, the 2018 M2 has the right mix of performance, handling, and driver feel that you'd expect from an M car. The design is also great, standing out in a crowd even with the black paint and rims. Fuel consumption was also surprisingly good, at 10.9 liters per 100 kilometers, with a good mix between city and highway driving. The M double clutch transmission was insanely fast, and our pick if you want the ultimate performance. And as always, we need to add BMW's iDrive infotainment and navigation as a plus, as it truly stands out as the best luxury segment system on the market, even without the specific car being optioned with the $750 smartphone connectivity package. But while we really loved this car, we know it isn't perfect. That Black Shadow package at $3,970 Canadian doesn't feel like a good value, especially since it doesn't really add anything you couldn't do yourself. The limited production run also feels like a moot point, since nothing on the inside of the car acknowledges its limited run. We also feel that BMW has effectively neutered the regular M2 now that the competition is out, as regular buyers of the M2 will always have to defend their purchase decision when asked if it's the competition or not. And finally, the interior doesn't match up with the price tag of this car. Now, we've driven older Mercedes-AMG models and found the same type of plastic interior, so we can't necessarily fault BMW for this, but the plastic dash, center console, and door cards often reminded us that this was still a 2 Series, despite its $74,000 MSRP. But there's no doubt that this was an insanely fun week with the BMW M2. Nothing quite feels like a BMW, both on the road and the way that others look at you when you're behind the wheel. Thanks for watching this episode of Test Drive Spotlight on the 2018 BMW M2 Black Shadow Edition. Do you think a car like this is designed to help sell the regular M2 over its more powerful competition brother? Let us know in the comments below and tell us what you think about this car. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel to get the latest episode of Test Drive every week. Until next time, take care.